She's the wonderful Toyah Willcox.
Hey, little star, look at you, you're so beautiful. Just like this.
Hi, everybody. How are you doing? You okay? Ironically, I'm going to be talking today about image, and here I am in flat shoes and on crutches. It's the last time I have sex on top of my wardrobe. Now, I was 7 years old when I knew the only path for me was show business. And to be honest, I probably wanted to enter the world of entertainment for all the wrong reasons. Gratuitous attention, financial reward would have been high on my list even at 7 years old. But I've been in this business now for 35 years, and I really appreciate the layers and the depths of being a creative person. But if you were to ask me what makes a human being different to any other species on this planet, it is we are creative. And we have the ability to believe in an idea before it's even formed yet. Now, if I were to explain the world of show business to you with one word, the word I would choose would be fluidity. Because like water, you can't hold it in your hands, but you can go with the flow, and hopefully you can influence its direction. In fact, invasion of the media is like a barometer by which you can measure your success by. Now, the reason I'm bringing this up with you all is because the things people find of interest and value have absolutely no boundaries. I'd say today there is value and interest in everything, especially if it's marketed properly. Now, today, I see myself as a small cottage industry. I'm not a big corporate like Madonna or Lady Gaga, but I still have my place in the world. Now, hopefully, some of you still remember me, the younger me, singing and rebelling my way through the 1980s. Oh, yes. You're a good man. But hopefully, some of you might have realized I'm still in your living rooms today.
It just works. And you know what? I feel like I've got my sparkle back. Join for free today.
Thank you. I co-wrote that song. It's called Sensational, and I sang the song. The world of advertising is enormous, and it has an insatiable appetite for mood-enhancing music because people live by images and sound in the modern world. So Sensational, the song, started as a small idea, an idea to write a song to encourage the listener to be motivated. And even though the finished song sat with the publishers for more than 5 years, it eventually found its place. So what does that say about an idea that you have? It says to me, stick with it, be fluid with it, and wait for the right opportunity, the right time for it to slot in, to fit in to the world as it is today. These days there are so many other avenues that you can have success in if you are fluid and creative in your marketing. Now, 32 years ago, £50,000 was an absolutely massive budget. It was almost equivalent to $500,000 today. To promote our anthem, I went on tour 3 times that year. I did endless trips to Europe to do press and TV. It took all year, every single day, to promote and to achieve the sales that platinum album eventually achieved. Now, today, thanks to technology, I can do all that like I did for my last album, which reached #2 in the iTunes rock charts, In the Court of the Crimson Queen. I did all that for less than £10,000. That's make the album, shoot the video, promote the album, all thanks to technology, and I can actually reach more people now without ever leaving home. So what I'm saying is visibility is absolutely vital in business today. People expect to be able to put a face to the name, so very little is anonymous. In business, it is absolutely imperative to believe in yourself, and you have the right to believe in yourself as an individual. I have two very personal laws. They're so simple, but I'm going to tell them you anyway. If someone is persistent in their habit of projecting negatively onto me, for example, oh, you've put weight on, oh, why don't you do what Madonna's doing? Why don't you do such and such? If people cannot see you, who you are, your uniqueness, my personal law is to move away from them and not spend energy on their doubts, because the doubts they are reflecting onto you are theirs alone. My second law, which is probably going to be slightly controversial today, is I only borrow money if I can pay it back within 2 years. Each project I do has to be self-funded. After tax, I invest 20 to 40% of my income in stocks and shares, business pension, and a property portfolio. And I believe that thanks to the remarkable lives of pioneering women like Katharine Hepburn, I do actually live in a more equal world today. And I adored every minute I had with her. For me, she didn't represent an older generation. She wasn't an older woman. She was a great woman. She taught me more about life and the need to remain creative than anyone else I have ever met since. Now, in 2 months, I'm not scared to say this, I'm going to be 55. And I have absolutely no intention of retiring. Now, physically, my life will have to slow down as I get older because I'm physically damaging myself the whole time. But my brain is still good, and there is still so much I want to achieve. And thanks to technology and the power of ideas, I believe that age shouldn't be a boundary for me, and it shouldn't be a boundary for anyone else. Now, I like to think that 50 is the new age of freedom, where the philosophy is, let's do as much as we can because we have worked really hard and now is our time. So, what is my role in show business today? How do I define myself in a world that thinks all singers are under the age of 25? I am a small, independent business. A business that has to adapt and reinvent, not just because of that old cliche there is always someone younger to take your place, but because as an actress and a singer, I am constantly changing. My role today is to be truthful to what I am, to be focused, educated, and in touch. I've had to adapt, and I've used the element of surprise. In the 70s, 80s, I was singing. In the 90s, I mainly acted and I presented a hell of a lot of TV. And in the noughties, I returned to singing and I invested time in discovering how the internet could work for me. And I now book and help promote my own music tours via the wide spread of the internet. But there is one thing I believe that always stays firmly fixed in people's minds, and that is image over facts in most cases. Image is so long-lasting, so influential. Image is as vital today as it has been in the last 6,000 years. We know these historical women were strong, like Samson, like Goliath, like Henry VIII. But the first thing that comes into our minds when we hear their names is the image of how they were looked and how they have been portrayed in the media. So what I'm saying here is image. Whether it's yours, your product, or your company logo, it transcends time. And there is a case in point that image transcends age. Remember Coco Chanel? Well, now look at Victoria Beckham. She made £60 million in 2012. I would just like to say, sometimes in our culture, we are so obsessed with perfection that we miss the blessings of our imperfections that give us our individual voice. I'd say to you, if you like something and you can translate that pleasure into other people's lives, then don't be afraid to try. And life is about what we can do. It's not about what we can't do. And life is about what we have. It's not about what we don't have. And what we all have is uniqueness. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for listening to me.